Hi guys, welcome from New Orleans. And I know I've probably said it to you guys before, but this is one of my favorite cities. I love the city. It always feels like home. And I want to tell you a little bit about where we're actually staying, which is really actually very cool. So the hotel that we stay in, it is called the Hotel de la Vive, which translates, and I probably completely killed that because I don't speak French very well, but it is actually the Hotel of the Living Waters. It's a beautiful place, you guys, super great. And I'm not even actually sure how many units are in here, to be honest with you, but each one is like its own little apartment. And this was originally part of the Bienville sugar plantation that was owned by a man that actually founded the city of New Orleans, Jean-Baptiste Bienville. Now, he eventually sold it to the Jesuits. But as the city grew out of the French Quarter, because we're a little bit out, and we'll go into that a little bit later, but we're a little bit out of the French Quarter, the Jesuits subdivided this plantation and sold this parcel to the architect Thomas Banks. Now, as one of the oldest surviving hotels in the historic American district, okay, so if you go just a little bit away from our hotel, like, gosh, maybe 10, 15
blocks?
Not even blocks, steps from our hotel is Canal Street. And Canal Street is what separated the American district, which is what we are in, and the Creole district, okay, which is where the French Quarter is. Now, the Creoles and the Americans did not like each other, but they had to do business with each other. Obviously, they had to do business with each other to make money, but they didn't like each other. So there was like this little rivalry between the Americans, because obviously before this became America, this was a French area, and this was also a Spanish area. So the Creoles kind of resented the fact that then the Americans came in and like took over their land and their gig, and came in and tried to like basically boot them out and make this America. So you can get where there was a little bit of tension there. But they had to work with each other. So Canal Street, which again is like 10, 15 steps away from our hotel here. So Canal Street was kind of considered the central ground. I can't think of the word. It's the neutral area, okay, where they could do business together, where it wasn't the American side or the Creole side. So Canal Street was that neutral area where everyone could do business together. But so this hotel that we're staying in is one of the oldest surviving hotels in the American sector. So this building has gone through so many transformations, you guys, but they're all fucking amazing, right? And the fact that we get to stay here, I just fucking love, because there's so much history here. You know, we love history here. There's so much history here, and we get to stay here, which just totally fucking makes me happy. So this was a national hotel until 1861. And then it was taken over by the Confederate Naval Garrison. And this was their headquarters in 1861. Then, when New Orleans was under a blockade, when the Union and the Confederate were fighting for this area, this was kind of a point of fighting over when we were going through it, right, with the Confederate and the Union. But then after the war, the buildings were closed from 1875 to 1905. And then these were used as both cotton and sugar warehouses because these were huge ways. Both cotton and sugar were huge money makers for this area. Okay, so this was then a warehouse for them to store their ways to make money. But in 1908, this is what I find fun. 1908, this property was opened by Mrs. I'm check my notes to make sure we're right. Mrs. Harvey Elkins, and it was opened as the Lady Magnolia Sporting House. Now, two guesses, you guys. 2 guesses what the Lady Magnolia House was.
Prostitute.
Oh, Mr. Dave got it right. This was a bordello. So this was a house of prostitution, or a home for the ladies of the night, whatever you'd like to call them.
Sin.
Or House of Sin. House of Sin. Are ladies of the night. But if you guys look into Storyville, which I'd actually like to do a whole series on Storyville because I find it super duper interesting, and the fact that once again our government closed down Storyville,
Wiped it out, completely wiped it out,
and took these amazing, beautiful bordellos that these homes were literally, you guys, $1 million beautiful homes. The women were regulated. The women were licensed. They were working a basically regular job. Come on, let's get real. Sex work is never going to end, you guys. It's part of life. It has been part of life from day one of humanity. Again, we'll go into that because I could go off for hours. But so they closed down Storyville, and they made prostitution illegal once again in New Orleans. So our hotel was closed down as a bordello. But from 1875 to 1905, I'm sorry, from 1916, sorry, went back, went off on a tangent and lost my place. 1916, when the Navy and the U.S. government shut down this as a bordello, then our property, where we get to stay here, was used as a warehouse for illegal booze, because then we were going into prohibition.
Yay.
So after the repeal of prohibition, which I'm sure we're all going to celebrate, obviously, right? This was operated still as a liquor warehouse until 1948. And then it was renovated and reopened as the Planters Hotel. And this was by, and I'm going to kill this name, you guys, I'm really sorry, but I'm American, sorry. Guillermo Valles. I probably killed that, I'm sorry. But he was a coffee planter from South America. And at his death in 1962, this property was once again dormant until it was repurchased in 1983. And then they completely renovated the whole space and turned it into this current hotel.
Uh-huh. And what's the name?
The Hotel de lo Vive, which translates to the waters of life. And I got to tell you guys this. Okay, so each one of the rooms, and we have been lucky enough to stay in the Momus room, which the Momus he is the god of mischief, Greek god of mischief. But then right across from us is the god Thor room.
That's my
and
room.
there's
That's my room.
That's Dave's room. That's what he likes to say. Then there's also the Poseidon room, and there's the Thoth room.
The what?
Thoth,
Thoth?
which Thoth is the Egyptian god of knowledge. Poseidon is the Greek god of the ocean. And I'm not going to tell you all the rooms because I don't know, because I have not snooped that much. This is our second time here, so I've only snooped a little bit. But then on the bottom floor, there's also the Atlas room. So I thought it was like really freaking cool that each room is named for a different god. And so then I was like, again, so here goes me, you guys know. So I started looking up, I was like, well, these aren't all gods of like water or ocean. So I really want to know, why did they name the specific gods for each of these rooms? I don't know. I'm still trying to research that. Hopefully we'll get back to you and I'll let you know what I find out. But I'm joking. But regardless, this is our second time here. It's absolutely amazing. I love the history of this hotel. I think it's super duper rad. We've never had a bad experience here. And you guys know the spirits like to poke me and talk to me and fuck with me if they can. And we've never, ever had a bad experience where I couldn't sleep here. Somebody needs to talk to me or tell me their story. It's a really good feeling. So if you want to come to New Orleans and you want to stay at a really cool place that has a really great history, you guys should check it out. And then I gotta show you guys my new friend. My new friend. I love alligators.
2 hands, pick it up.
I know. I love alligators, you guys. Him's the big boy. Look at him. He could eat my head. He could totally eat my head. He's so cute. So we got to figure out how to get him into our luggage and get him home. We will. We'll figure it out. But we have such great, I cannot wait. We have such great stuff to upload for you guys from our voodoo tour, our ghost lewd spirits tour, our swamp tour, which was fucking amazing. Oh, I got to pet an alligator. I got to pet an alligator.
It was.
Yeah. Yes. And we have such great footage from all over the city, which is, again, one of my favorite cities. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And keep your eyes and your ears open. And like and subscribe so you know the next stuff that we're going to be bringing up. Because you're not going to want to miss this trip. I'm telling you. It's fucking amazing. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you real soon. Blessed be.